Wie spricht man British English?
Hello, welcome to this
Oh, fuck. Hello.
YouTube video. We're going to learn 6 ways of sounding more authentically British.
British.
Possibly the easiest way to sound British is to put the word quite in every...
Quite. Oi! That's quite a nice cock you have there, mate.
Every sentence before you describe something.
Quite.
If you're describing something, if you're using an adjective,
Quite.
like someone says to you, how was that movie last night?
Yeah, quite nice.
Don't say, yeah, it was good. Say, it was quite good.
It was quite good. It was quite good.
If someone says to you, how's Mike's Arabic? Don't say, it's good. Say, it's quite good. Or it's quite
good.
Bad.
It's quite
or
good.
It's quite nice. How are
It's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's quite nice.
you today? You say, yeah, I'm quite good, thanks. Or
Good. Good, nicht good. Good.
always be polite. We like to be polite and say thank you. How was that movie last night? Yeah, it was quite good, actually. How
It was quite good.
was the
Quite
circus?
good.
Oh, it was quite fun.
It
How
was quite fun.
Bubble football?
It was charming. It was quite charming. In it?
Oh, it was quite fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was quite fun. What's the weather like? Oh, it's quite nice out. It's quite nice. It's quite sunny. It's quite hot. It's quite cold. It's quite big.
It's quite cold. It's quite hot.
It's quite small.
In it?
Just say quite. Quite.
Quite.
Always say quite.
Quite.
And you will sound British. I don't think any other countries really use quite as much as
British.
we do.
It's quite difficult.
Are you well, Mr. Darcy?
Yeah, quite nice.
well.
Second
Blimey.
word you can use is mate. Call everyone mate.
All right, mate.
All right,
How
mate.
you doing?
All right, mate. How's it going? All
right,
right.
mate.
All right means
Quite, mate.
are you all right?
All right, mate.
And then mate is like friend.
Mate.
We use mate all the time.
Ah, die pronounce das immer so mit so einer speziellen Pronunciation. Mate. Aber ich denk irgendwie Deutsch. Ich klinge wie ein Deutscher, der versucht, British zu reden.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah,
I went out
mate.
with a few mates last night.
Yeah, mate.
I'm seeing some
You
mates
mates.
later. All right, mate. How you doing? Yeah, he's my mate. She's my mate. We're good mates.
You're my mate.
Yeah, we've been mates for years. I haven't got many mates.
Years. Mates for years.
I've got loads of mates. Always say mates instead of friends or pals or buddies. We don't
Okay, quite und mate. Mate kenne ich schon.
really say buddy. We don't really say pals, although in the north
Yeah, I was watching some YouTube, mate. Oh, das war sick.
they say pal.
Quite
a little bit
good.
more,
Quite
but
good.
Mate would be
Quite good.
like a typical British thing to say.
Some
Oh,
YouTube.
all right, mate. How's it going? Yeah, he's my mate. He's a good mate.
I was having some breakfast. Ah. Das sind auch wieder fake.
Oh, it's good to see you, mate. Really enjoyed that, mate. Thanks a lot, mate. Always
Thanks a
add
lot,
mate
mate.
on the end of each word. Mate. Say mate.
Mate.
Just say it all the time and you
Mate.
sound British.
Mate, British.
And I will enjoy taking the piss out of him for that time cover.
Taking the piss out of him?
Yes.
What does taking the piss out of someone mean?
Now, on to pronunciation. In the British accent, we like to pronounce our T's.
Breakfast. Oh! Breakfast. Die machen das Ende nicht. Die slurren so ein bisschen das Ende. Breakfast. True.
If you're speaking proper
Breakfast.
English, like the Queen's English, or we like to not pronounce them at all. So let me give you some examples.
British.
So the word water.
Water.
Water in British
Water.
accent, we pronounce
Water. I was having some water.
the T. Water.
Water. I was having some water.
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 Now, if you're from London and you speak like Cockney or a bit like slang,
You're pretty, like you're buffing.
you might say water.
Water. Give me some water. Okay, ich denke mehr British. Give me some water.
Give us some water, would you? Give us some water.
Give some water.
Water. But
Water.
the important thing
Water.
is here in the British accent, we either pronounce the T, like water. That's how I would say it
Water.
personally, water.
Water.
Or you just don't pronounce it at all, water. Now,
Water. Woha. Woha. Boah, das ist schwer. Das nicht zu pronouncen ist schwer. Woha.
Third way, which you'd hear in other
Woha.
accents, is to pronounce the T as a kind of like a D. So, water.
Water. Water. Aber das klingt mehr australisch.
Water. Water.
Water.
I did 3 random
Water.
accents really, which could have been anything, but in some accents, they
Water.
might pronounce the T as like a D, but in the British accent,
Yo, Pirantic. Danke für den Raid.
the T is a T,
Big raid.
water, or not at all.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Totally. We'd say totally.
Totally.
In other accents, they say totally. Totally. Listen to that.
Totally.
Totally. Totally. The T becomes like a D. Totally. We would say totally.
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 Rather than totally.
Totally.
Or you might say, if you're from London, you might say totally. Oh, it's totally awesome. It's totally good. Yeah, it's totally good. Yeah,
It's
totally
totally-
sick,
totally
sweet.
good.
It was
Totally
totally
good.
good.
Totally
it was
good.
Totally amazing.
It's totally amazing, mate.
Witty. Witty.
Witty.
Don't be so witty.
Witty.
Again, they're pronouncing the T as like a
Witty.
D. For example, in the American accent, they might say witty. Oh, he's pretty witty. In British
Witty. Witty.
English, we'd say witty. Witty. Water.
Witty.
Totally.
Water,
Always pronounce
totally.
that T in the middle of the word as a T, not as like a D or anything like that.
Weary. Und wie sagt man das halt in London-Accent? Oder das T? Weary. Witty. That was witty, mate.
Or pronunciation again. Americans say bin. Where you been?
Where you been?
In England, we say bean. We pronounce B like B
Where you been?
E E N. Like the same as we pronounce scene or spleen.
Spleen.
We would pronounce bean like
Bean.
B-E-E-N. Where have you been?
Where have you been, mate? Where have you been? Ah, been. Das Ding ist, wenn ich Englisch rede, weil ich so viel XQC gucke, ich mache immer dieses E am Schluss. Been. Ich mache immer dieses E, weil er das auch macht. Das ist mein einziger englischer Influss.
Have you been
Einfluss.
to Kuwait? Yes, I've been to Kuwait. Have you been to Saudi Arabia? No, I haven't been to Saudi Arabia.
I haven't been. I
So
haven't been.
we in Britain say been. We don't
Oh,
say
aber ich weiß nicht, wie man Britain ausspricht. Britain. Britain. Ja. Yes, I'm from Britain. I'm from Britain. Yes, I'm British. I love speaking British. Ist gut, oder? British.
bin, like B-I-N or B-E-N. We say been, we pronounce it been.
Been.
Where have you been? Have you been there? No, I haven't been there. Have you been to England? No, I haven't been to London. Have you been
London.
to America? Yes, I've been to America. Been. Americans would say been. We say been.
Got
Easy
it.
way to sound more British. Just say been instead of bin.
5.
Now this one's a little bit
5. Das war ich schon. 5.
difficult to explain, but of something which is going to make you really stand out as speaking
Five.
like the British accent is if you say certain phrases such as this one here.
I was sad. Nee. I was sad.
Now, on a first glance, it seems grammatically incorrect, and it actually technically is, but it's so commonly used in the British accent that it's kind of considered like a British dialect, and it's very widely accepted, certainly in spoken English, to say something like this.
I was sat on this. I was sat on this step.
I was sat on the step.
Oh fuck! I was sat on the step. Step.
I was sat on the step.
I was sat on the.
Now, if you're British, you're thinking, yeah, I was sat on the step. That's fine.
I was sat on the
sat on
step.
the bench. I was sat at the bus stop. Where
was
are
sat
you?
at the bus
I'm
stop.
sat outside the library.
I
It's
sat outside the library.
so common that you don't even think anything of it. But interestingly, if you're from a different country, you probably wouldn't say this. It's a very uniquely British way of saying
I was at the library. Library. So.
something. Now, what's interesting
The
here is we've
library.
got I was,
Yeah.
and then which is already a
British.
past tense. I was, and then we've got a past tense verb sat. So we've got I was sat. Now we've doubled up those past tense verbs. I was sat. Now Americans would say I was sitting. Australians would say
Me mum sat me at the bus stop.
I was sitting. They wouldn't say I was sat. It's a very British.
Du musst einfach nur dabei was essen, das ist der Trick. Ich glaube auch, oder? Wenn man so ein bisschen so den Mund voll hat und halt mit diesem
A common British colloquialism to say I was sat. If you're teaching a class, you might tell your class to say to stay sat. Stay sat.
Stay sat.
Now that's wrong English. It's, you know.
Oh, Jeremy. Oh, fuck. Das Ding ist, ich gucke halt mir am meisten amerikanische YouTuber an. Deswegen kommt immer der amerikanische Akzent raus.
You can't really argue that, but it's so common in the British accent that it wouldn't even be noticed if you heard that. Stay sat. Of course, the correct thing to say would be stay sitting. Don't move, stay sitting. But we'd say stay sat. Doesn't really make any sense, but it's what we say.
I remember exactly where I was sat. So
Was war das für ein Lied?
I remember exactly.
Was war das für ein Lied? Das war ein Banger.
Where I was sat. So
I was sad. Warte mal. Das will ich jetzt wissen.
I want to feel you hit me.
Das ist es! Die Line war gut, aber das ist eher so. Yeah.
She goes on. But am I really listening to what you say? Let's forget those words.
Ja, ist okay. Ist ein bisschen zu happy. Na, ich hab gedacht, das wäre vielleicht so ein nicer. Ja, fuck it. Scheiß drauf.
sat here wiping away these tears.
We were sat upon our best friends' roof.
Other examples of this funny rule would be I was stood.
Junge, fucking Ed Schmutz.
I was stood. Again, I was stood.
Ed Weirdjam. I was stood.
Not I was standing, I was stood. I was stood outside a shop when I saw the celebrity come out the door, whatever. I was stood outside the shop when I heard a gunshot. I was stood outside the shop and all of a sudden it just poured with rain. I was stood next to my car when there was a collision right next to me.
I was stood in your line.
Okay, ich glaube, wir haben es verstanden. Ich glaube, wir haben verstanden, was mit I was.
I'm sorry, I've got plans with my sister.
Finally, number 6, the R's. The R's. This is the kind of the most common one. Number 6.
Das R.
Going back to our keywords we had earlier, like water, in British accent, we would say this as
Water.
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 Guitar.
Guitar.
Cater. Slower. Faster. Tiger.
Tiger.
Ladder.
Leather.
Refrigerator. Actually, we would
Refrigerator.
never say refrigerator anyway. We would just say fridge, because we just
Fridge.
say fridge. Translator. See, we don't pronounce the R. There's an R at the end of all of these words. But we
Water.
just say it as tiger, not tiger.
Tiger.
Translator.
Tiger.
Smaller, bigger,
Bei
faster.
mir ist das so aufgesetzt. Ja, was soll ich denn machen? Ich bin fucking Deutsch. Was soll ich denn machen?
Smaller, bigger, slower. We don't say we say We just end it in an Water, bigger, faster, slower, tiger, guitar, translator. So there you are, 6 ways of sounding more British very easily.
British, okay. Wir haben's.